All right, Mr. Frayne here to help you guys with some of your homework. We're looking at Monday, 1021. Compare the numbers below using the less than, greater than, or equal to sign. So all we're doing is writing an inequality here. So guys, I actually want to make sure you guys understand that word inequality. That just basically means this, or this, right? So which one is bigger? Well, this is like owing $14 and this one's like owing $13. So you get to pick which one would you rather eat. So this little thing should be open, right? It's going to be like there's little teeth in there and they're going to be eating whichever one you guys think is bigger. Number 2, evaluate the expression below. Simplify your answer. So we have 3 1/5 divided by 8/5. So since we have 3 1/5, we're going to turn this into an improper fraction because I can't divide with the whole number here, right? So if you guys remember that correctly, you can do 5 times 3 plus the top, right? So 5 times 3 is 15 plus my top number, my numerator. I'll make it 15 plus 1 equals 16, right? So my new fraction is 16. Whoa. Let me see here. I don't know why it didn't work. All right, there we go. 16. My denominator stays the same. 16 over 5. And then we would just take this, right, and just bring it all down. Now, since we're dividing fractions, we need to keep, change, flip. So that means, you know what, let me work right here so you guys see where I'm going, right? I'm just going to show you this was this. So I'm keeping, changing, flipping. So I'm going to keep my first fraction. So I'm going here now. My first fraction is going to stay the same. Oops. I meant to copy, guys. Sorry. I'm trying not to erase stuff so you guys can see where I got it from. So I'm keeping this fraction. I'm changing my sign from division to multiplication. And then I'm flipping the second fraction, right? So 8 is going to go on the bottom, 15 is going to go on top. So, like I said, 15 is going to be on top now, and 8 is going to go on the bottom. And now you can multiply across. Now what I like to do, and I've mentioned it a few times, is cross cancel, right? If I can, so I'm constantly preaching this, that if you have numbers that are across from each other and they can go into each other, then you can make these numbers smaller, so when you multiply across, you're not dealing with bigger numbers. So like 5, can 5 go into 15? It sure can, right? So that means I'm going to divide both of these by 5. If I divide this by 5, 5 divided by 5 equals 1, right? And if I divide this by 5, 15 divided by 5 equals 3, right? Because 3 times 5 equals 15. So that's the smaller number I'm working with now. And can I divide these two? Well, sure. 8 goes into 16, right? How many times can 8 go into 16? It would be 2 times, right? 16 divided by 8 would be 2. And then if I divide this by 8, I have to divide this by 8, which means 8 divided by 8 equals 1. And now if I multiply across, I have 2 times 3. And what is 2 times 3? Let me borrow my little arrow here so you guys know I'm on the next step now. So 2 times 3 equals 6. And 1 times 1 equals 1. And there, my friends, I have my answer. Only difference is that I can simplify this, right? 6 over 1 is the same as saying 6. So that's my answer. And that's how you get it. Alright, that was number 2. Number 3, write the fraction as a decimal. I'm just going to give you a clue here. You're going to do in and out, right? So in and out means 3 goes inside and 5 goes outside. So you're going to do your little division house. 3 is going to go on the inside and 5 is going to stay on the outside. I can't go into that number, so I'm going to have to put 0, right? And then add a decimal. And then add a decimal. And add a 0. And now I can go into that number. So I'll let you guys finish it. Keep working. You're almost there. Next one. In what quadrant can we find negative 13, 0? Well, if you had a coordinate plane, right? Quadrant 1 would be positive, positive. Quadrant 2 would be negative and then a positive because I'm still up. Quadrant 3 would be negative, negative, and quadrant 4 would be positive, negative, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So when it's saying negative 13, 0, that means I'm going negative 13, let's say imaginary numbers, or dashes right here, and then 0. It means I'm staying here. So what line, what is this line called right here? That's what you need to figure out. Because that's where we're at. We're on 0. We didn't go up or down. We stayed right here on this line. The last one, compare the numbers below. We have the absolute value of negative 4 and then 4. So remember, absolute value has the magical power of turning whatever number inside into a positive. So you guys can figure that one out now. All right, that's my help for Monday. Let's see if I can do Tuesday on the same video. 1 second. All right, so number 2 says write the ratio of 15 to 25 in the simplest form. So if you guys remember, 15 is the first number, so we're going to put that on top, 25 at the bottom, right? It's basically the same as a fraction. So we're just simplifying this. What numbers can go into both these numbers? Can I divide them by 2? No. 3? I can divide 15 by 3, but I can't do 25 by 3. 4? No. 5? Hey, they both end in 5, which means they're both divisible by 5. So 15, so I'm going to go ahead and write that. Divided by, that was the one I wanted. Let me see. Divided by, there you go. So 15 divided by 5 equals 3, right? And 25 divided by 5 equals 5. So that is my simplest form, 3/5. You can also write it a few different ways, right? 3/5 or 3 to 5. Oops, didn't want the capitals. Or you can even write 3 to 5 like that. All means the same thing. All right, number 7, divide the expression below, simplify your answer. So you have that fraction, you're just multiplying across and then simplifying it. Remember, you can cross cancel if you wanted to, and I know you can on the 2 and the 4 here. So you can get a smaller number to deal with when you multiply across. Then you won't have to simplify as much. This next one, what is the ratio of stars to hearts? So we're going to write stars to hearts, right? Stars are on top, hearts are on bottom. How many stars are on top? Hearts on the bottom. You can do that one on your own. What's the absolute value of negative 1/8? That's the same as saying this, right? Which gives you the magic power to turn that into a positive number. So you can figure that out. And finally, number 10, label the quadrants. It goes in a big order, like a big C right here. So it's, I just want to see what you guys know on this one, if you could do this on your own. Label the quadrants. Hopefully you guys can do it. There's only 4. So that's my clue for you guys. All right, that's Tuesday's homework. All right, so Wednesday says what's the LCM of 24 and 54? So you're going to, you can either do the layer cake method, which I like to do, right? Or you can skip count. So this is, I'm gonna do the layer cake because that's the one I'm used to. So I'm gonna put 24 in here and 54. So I just have to think, what numbers can I divide both these numbers by? Well, I can divide them both by 2, right? So 24 divided by 2 equals 12. And 54 divided by 2 equals 27, right? So now I gotta think, is there another layer? Can I keep going? Let me see here. Can I divide both these numbers by 2? This one I can, this one I can't because it's an odd number. What about 3? Oh yeah, I could divide 12 by 3. And I could divide 27 by 3. So my next number is 3. I get 4 here. And I get 9 here. So now I gotta do the same thing. Can I divide by 2? Yes, but no. Can I divide by 3? No, but yes. Can I divide by 4? Yes, and no. So that means I'm done. And when you're doing LCM, you're doing your big L, and you're multiplying all the outside numbers. So I have, so this turned into an L. It's kind of an ugly L, but it's an L, right? So you're gonna have 2 times 3 times 4 times 9 to get your answer. And that's how you get your LCM. The other way you could have done it is you skip count, right? I do 24, then 48, then you would add another 24. Oh, that bell, guys, sorry. Which would be, like, see, in my head, it's kind of hard to do. If I had 4, I would go 52 plus 20, which means 72, right? So that's why skip counting sometimes is tough. But I mean, all I'm doing is adding 24. So like if I add 4 more, I would have 6, right? and then 2 here would be 9, so 96. And you do that, and then you do it on the other number until you get numbers that finally meet. That's the other way of doing it. You can skip count. All right, that was Wednesday number 11. 12, there are 13 girls and 12 boys in the class. What's the ratio of boys to total kids in the class? So I want to make sure you guys saw that word, total kids in the class, right? So it says boys to total. So always start by writing it out, boys to total. So how many boys are there? It says 13 girls and 12 boys. So you know your first one's going to be 12. And on the bottom, how many total kids are there? You guys can figure that out on your own. Next one, order from greatest to least. Try your best. I'm not going to help you on that one. This one, a punch recipe calls for 2 parts soda to 3 parts fruit juice. If you use 8 cups of soda, how much fruit juice do you need? All right, so for every, let's do our ratio, soda to juice. Okay, so that's our ratio here. And it says that the recipe calls for 2 parts soda for every 3 parts juice, right? So you have it labeled right. Now it's asking if you use 8 cups of soda, so we have 8 sodas. How much juice are we going to need? Well, all we have to figure out is what number did I multiply to get to 8? 2 times what equals 8? Well, I know 2 times 4 equals 8, right? And if I do times 4 here, I need to do times 4 here. So that means my answer is going to be 12, right? 12 parts of fruit juice is what I need. And the last one, compare the numbers below using the less than, greater than, or equal to. I'm going to let you guys try that one on your own. Remember, there's negatives here, so you need to make sure you take that into consideration. That is Wednesday's homework. All right, last one. Manny has 5 apples and 4 oranges. What is the ratio of apples to oranges? Write it in 3 different ways. So always start off by writing it. It says, what is the ratio of apples to oranges? So apples, oranges, right? I'm even going to write this in orange. So that's our ratio. So you're going to put apples on top, oranges on the bottom. And it says write it 3 different ways. So you're going to write 2 and then the colon. Remember, the 3 different ways we can do it. Next one, copy machine makes 350 copies in 4 minutes. All right, so we get copies, minutes, right? And then let's write out what it said. It said 350 in 4 minutes, right? So 350 copies in 4 minutes. So it tells us in 1 minute, right? So what did I do to turn my 4 into a 1? What did I have to do to turn 4 into 1? You're not subtracting, you're dividing, right? It's either multiplication or division. That's when you're changing these fractions. So that means I divided by 4, right? Which means I need to divide my top by 4. And I'll have my answer that goes in here. So whatever it is going to go in there, my answer. The ratio is 12 and 24 and 3 and 6 equivalent. Justify your answer. I'll let you guys try that one on your own. This one, I'll let you do on your own. And your family travels, and I'll let you try this one. Well, on this last one, it talks about unit rate, and we're going to learn about that this week, hopefully. So unit rate means you're going to turn that number into a 1, or your bottom number. So we have miles over hours, okay? And our unit rate means we're going to turn it in miles per 1 hour. So we need to turn hours into 1. So right now we have, if we fill in the numbers we have 336, and we have 6 here, right? So what do I need to do to turn my 6 into a 1? I need to divide by 6, right? And if I divide the top by 6, I need to divide the bottom. If I divide the bottom by 6, I need to divide this by 6.